Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 11 starts now.
On the run in the middle of rush hour, a man trying to lose the police plows into a popular business, and it's all caught on camera. Thankfully, nobody was inside because that SUV hit the facade so hard it accordioned the roof and did serious damage inside. Thanks for being with us. I'm Kimberly Gill.
I'm Devin Skillian. This all started in the area of West 8 Mile and Losser. Mara McDonald live on Detroit's west side. It was Southfield police chasing this driver down 8 Mile, correct, Mara?
Devin, that's right, and it all ended up right here. You can see the point of impact into the building, but that's not all. If you take a look up, it actually bent the frame of this building. You've got debris on the ground, and if you look over there, well, that used to be a light pole. This is the aftermath. A busted up light pole, a crashed SUV, and a whole lot of police officers bringing 8 Mile near Losser down to one lane while they cleaned up the mess. But let me show you how it got to this point. Surveillance cameras on the Super Dollar Center capture the moments leading up to the crash. Off in the distance, you can see the flashing lights of Southfield police chasing a white Chevy. The driver had already hit another car and a fence. Cops thought he was drunk. And then they use a pit maneuver on him, and not only does he wipe out the light pole, but he hit the facade of the store so hard. Take a look at the inside.
So we heard like a big boom, and I ran straight out to look what's going on, and I seen the police all chasing everyone, like trying to get the guy out.
Wally couldn't believe what he was watching, and his cameras captured. The driver was pinned in on all sides by Southfield police, and he thought it was smart to try and run. Didn't get very far. Police dropped him with a taser.
Thank God that nobody's hurt. That's the main thing. That's all that matters. You know, everything can be fixed, but as long as nobody got hurt.
Back here live, a quick call to Southfield police tonight. They tell us that the driver that they had to taser, he's okay too. He is, however, in custody. We're live in Southfield and Detroit along the border. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
Really amazing. All right, Mara. We are learning more about the family killed in a home explosion in Washtenaw County.
That blast over the weekend rocked homes miles away and left nothing in its wake. Jacqueline Francis is in Northfield Township with how the family is being remembered.
Days later, and the road leading up to the home is still blocked off. The explosion killed 4 of the 6 people inside, a family from Arkansas visiting for the holidays.
They were the kind of family that I feel like most people aspired to be. They were very loving and happy together.
The Bragg family was visiting Michigan from Arkansas, staying with family in Northfield Township when the home exploded. Friends back home stunned to learn the news.
Especially having to call people who I knew really cared about them and having to tell them what happened. It was really difficult to do.
Hope and Don Bragg both died in the blast, along with 2 of their 3 kids. The family was passionate about archaeology. 23-year-old Kenny, seen in this photo with his dad, was following in his parents' footsteps.
Well, Kenny was finishing up his bachelor's degree at Michigan Tech. He was studying to become an archaeologist, actually, and he was writing an undergraduate thesis. I think this was his last year.
His younger sister Beth, age 19, had just started college as a freshman at University of Arkansas. She also died in the explosion. The surviving child is 16-year-old Stephen, who is being treated at a local hospital.
Somebody from the school district here said that he had a broken pelvis and a lacerated liver, and that it would take several months for him to recover from that physically.
Stephen's grandfather, Richard Pruden, who owned the home, also survived. He remains in critical condition. The cause of the explosion remains under investigation, officials classifying it as an undetermined fuel-air explosion.
Obviously, no family should have to go through anything like this, but for them in particular, I think it's really stunning to people because they were such a great group of people who were so caring and loving and contributed so much to their community.
GoFundMes have been launched for each of the surviving family members to help with medical expenses. We have those links on our website. There will be a vigil for that family at Whitmore Lake High School this coming Saturday. Reporting in Northfield Township, Jacqueline Francis, Local 4.
All right, Jacqueline, a key hearing is set in the murder case surrounding a Detroit Jewish community leader. 28-year-old Michael Jackson Bolanos is charged with felony murder in the death of Samantha Wohl. She was found stabbed to death outside her home in Lafayette Park back in October. A probable cause conference was held this morning after being delayed so the prosecutors could turn over more evidence to his defense attorney. The next step now, a key one, a preliminary hearing now scheduled for January 16th, and that hearing will determine whether there is enough evidence to go to trial.
Former President Donald Trump is trying to get back on the primary ballot in the state of Maine in 2024. The 45th president and current Republican presidential frontrunner is asking a court in that state to overturn the decision that resulted in his removal. In his filing, Trump accuses Maine's Secretary of State, who is a Democrat, of bias. Last week, she said she had a legal obligation to take Trump off the ballot because of his actions during the January 6th siege on the U.S. Capitol. The appeal now goes to Maine's Superior Court.
Happening tomorrow, 3 vacant seats on Michigan's redistricting commission are going to be filled. Michigan Department of State will host a random selection tomorrow. It comes after 1 Republican and 2 Democrats resigned from the 13-member panel last month. Officials say the new commissioners will be randomly selected from the remaining pool of semifinalist applicants who align with the same party as the departing commissioner. Last month, the federal court ruled maps for 13 state House and state Senate seats are illegal, and they have to be redrawn. New street signage is popping up in some areas across the city of Detroit. You will want to learn what they mean.
New residential parking zones are being enforced right now to make it more convenient for residents to have dedicated street parking. The zones along Selden near Cass in Midtown are in place right now. Zones are being phased in for Central and South Brush Park areas. Neighbors are excited for the new change.
I'll leave to go pick up my kids from school, and then, about 4:30, 5 o'clock, I'll get here, and it's like literally nowhere to park.
Citywide parking safety violations such as blocking fire hydrants and alleys will now be enforced on Sundays for the first time. Metered parking will still be free on Sundays.
Michigan fans preparing tonight to make the trip to Houston for the big national championship game next week. Delta Airlines, in fact, has added 7 extra nonstop flights between Detroit and Houston between January 6th and January 9th. And why not? We'll show you how profitable that will be for the airline. If you're going to be staying closer to home, Imagine is going to show the national championship game on the big screen at some of its Metro Detroit theaters. We've put locations and tickets on the homepage of clickondetroit.com. But it's going to be expensive if you want to make that flight. $1,500, the average going rate in coach.
Plus the ticket. Well, it's a life-changing start of the year for someone here in Michigan after winning the Powerball drawing. The winning ticket from last night's $842.4 million Powerball jackpot drawing was sold at the Food Castle in Grand Blanc Township. The lucky player's winning ticket matched all of the numbers drawn. The Michigan Lottery won't know the identity of the winner until that person contacts the lottery. People in the area say they are excited for the local winner.
My phone started ringing early this morning with friends and family saying, hey, did you see the news? And I saw it immediately and thought this is great for our community.
Very surprised. Usually you hear about these things happening in other states, So it's great for the community. I think it's going to be, hopefully it's somebody that is going to spend some of that money here.
Well, that $842.4 million Powerball jackpot has a lump sum cash value of $425.2 million. The jackpot is the 5th largest Powerball jackpot ever won and the 10th largest jackpot won in U.S. lottery history. My family from South Carolina were all calling, wanting to know if it was it me? Was it somebody I know? I wish. Not so much.
There's the scene tonight. It just feels really chilly tonight. It has a lot to do with where we've been because it's been so mild, but it feels cold, doesn't it?
We're wimps after having such a mild December. Let's check in with Kim Adams.
Kim, I'm with you on the lottery thing. I don't play the lottery, but I'm always glad when it's somewhere that I don't normally shop. I'm like, oh, I wouldn't have gone there anyway. Right? Don't you feel a little bit better? All right, right now, 32 degrees in Detroit. In fact, there you go, jackpot. Howell, Pontiac, and Adrian all checking in right at the freezing mark. Well, we're talking about it being freezing and we didn't see much sun today. Had we seen some sun, it is supposed to be about 7% more intense because today is the perihelion, which means we are the closest as the Earth orbits the sun. We're the closest to the sun as opposed to the aphelion, which is July 5th, when we are the farthest away. Right now, we're about 3 million miles closer to the sun. We just don't see it here in Metro Detroit, but here's where we are, 3,106,444 miles closer today. But you wouldn't know it by our temperatures or the lack of sunshine here in Metro Detroit. 33 in Mount Clemens, 34 City Airport, freezing at the airport. We still have a little bit of wind to deal with, so wind chills make it feel like it's more in the low to mid 20s. Tomorrow, well, no hope for sun then either. We've got mostly cloudy skies and the chance of a few late day snow flurries, maybe even a quick burst of light snow, and then more snow ahead for Saturday night and another system coming in on Tuesday. We'll talk all about that in a few minutes.